All right, y'all, welcome to Between Two Rods. This is a fishing podcast where we talk about all kinds of crazy stuff. And today we got a great guest with us. But first, I'd like to thank our sponsors. I'd like to thank BassTackleSupply.com. And you guys can use the promo code TWORODS, 2 rods, for 10% off at BassTackleSupply.com. And I'd also like to thank Devil Road Whiskey here, and they are a up-and-coming whiskey brand. Great stuff, man. I vouch by it. It's great, mixes great, drinks great straight. If you love whiskey, it's an awesome product. Definitely recommend checking it out. So my guest today is not just a guy who loves fishing, but also my neighbor. So I'm excited to talk to you a little bit more, Charlie. But he's I would love to describe you as an unemployed guy that just has a ton of fun and just lives a great life, and you do. But the reality of it is you grew up in the AC business, doing all kinds of stuff for Winn-Dixie, and then you started your own company, grew it, sold it, and man, you're having a great time now. So it's amazing the journey that you've been on. And how did that get started for you?
Yeah, for sure. No, I'm definitely known as the unemployed flip-flop barefoot guy. So around the neighborhood and around Panama City.
I think you told me one time that you're everybody's go-to fishing buddy.
That's the case. But it got started really young. My parents, and some people know this, but my mom, grandma, aunt, they came on a boat. They were immigrants. They came on a boat to New York. They came to America to work, freedom, work. Dad lived in New Jersey where they came to, and then migrated down to Panama City, affordable in the 70s, 60s, super affordable. Mom still lives in the same little area in a trailer up in Bayou George I grew up in. So
nice.
Grew up in Bayou George. I was born and raised here, so I kind of sound more like Luke Bryan, and Mom sounds more like the Queen. But growing up in Bayou George, getting out of school, walking down to the ditches, catching live crawfish, throwing them in the creek, Bayou George, Bear Creek, funnels in back there to John Pitts. Yeah. Catching bass, catfish on
and that's how you got your love for fishing.
That really just catching catfish and bass right there in the creek, and just stoked on that. Dad was a Winn-Dixie refrigeration guy. Yeah. He worked on refrigeration in Winn-Dixie since the 70s. Nice. So old school dude, and that he's kind of a legend in that world. And he saw me fishing, and he went and got a Ranger bass boat, an old tournament boat that an old pro sold. Yeah. Had the name little bass, like bass brass recognition on the boat, and we thought we were in high cotton, of course. So we went out there and started fishing little Deer Point tournaments back in the 80s. Yep. Lake Logan Martin, Lake Lanier. We started actually branching out and bass fishing in tournaments that we had no right to be in. Yeah, that's but we knew how to throw a worm. Yeah. So it started there. Started fishing with Dad. Stoked on that. Learned Deer Point pretty well in the 80s, 90s. Did pretty decent there, and then all of a sudden I went to high school, met some boys at Mosley, went in Bayou George anymore, branched out, and they saltwater fished, and then we really went to fishing. Yeah, got into that.
I know you do a ton of red fishing and all that. So
today, the day-to-day is red fishing. Even behind where our neighborhood is, pretty decent paddleboard fishing. I love to sight fish. That's pretty much all I want to do. If I go fishing, I just want to sight fish. I want to see them. I want to find them. Sometimes I'll take photos of them instead of casting at them, depending.
I love it because it's like hunting, And we did it over in Venice, Louisiana one time, and I swear to you, I don't know that I've ever had so much fun in my life.
It's challenging. It's fun. It's I think it's a skill level that not everybody has, so it's prideful to me to try to do it. It's not easy, right? Yep. You got to present the bait the right way, the right bait.
Accurate casting,
and then you got
to be able to see them too. And
100%.
That's a skill on its own, is to be able to see those fish in those conditions.
It's so funny you say that, because now I've done that. My dad used to drop me off in a Ginu in West Bay. He would go to work in the back of his truck. He'd throw me off in a Ginu in West Bay with a cane pole and a fishing rod. And the cane pole I pulled around. In the 80s, we thought we were poor. Nowadays, we're technical fly fishermen, sight fishermen, right? We were just doing it because we were poor back then. But we were doing that in the 80s here, way before these guys are doing it. The other day, Justin Lee, he's a local guy, some people know, and so one of the guys was giving me a hard time, and he just said, "Hey, Charlie's OG. Like, don't give him a hard time, you know." But people don't know that. But I'm friends with Justin, a lot of the local captains, and he would throw us out there, and we were doing that. We were looking at stuff, seeing some tails. We didn't know what we were seeing. Nowadays, I've done it long enough where we go, but you do bring a new person on the boat. So I brought a guy down from Wisconsin. He wanted to fly down and do what I do, which is cool. Pushed him around 2 days. He caught one redfish, and I don't realize that.
And it's so ingrained in you because you're so used to being on the water and knowing what to look for and knowing the silhouettes that you're trying to see and seeing those things. I recently read a book called The Lion Hunters or Lion Tracker's Guide to Life, and he talks about how when you're in the bush or on the water in our case, and you're seeing those things daily, your mind is picking up details that other people who are new to it don't pick up.
100%. I had a Hell's Bay Marquesa. I was out pulling my wife one day, and she's not a big fisherman. And I was just pulling around. I said, hey, look, I'll show you what we do. And we get out there, and I see this fish, 40 yards, tailing, swimming, eating happy, skinny water. And I just keep pushing, and I'm getting to the 30 foot and the 20 foot. And the 15, I'm like, we're getting to this fish. He has no clue we're there. He is just eating. And we get the bow. We're about to run over the fish. She never saw it.
Really?
So that gives you an example of I'm 40 yards out, 40 feet, 30 feet. Like I'm identifying, went right over the fish.
Yeah.
And, God bless her. She's never done it. But you bring guys that think they can fish. Guys that I fish with pro bass guys. I fish with all these guys, and they come to sight fish.
It's a different skill, man. I'm telling you. Exactly. And that's the beauty of, like, I've done a lot of trips around different places. I know you have too. As you go and you see different types of fishing around the world, and you're experiencing different species and different ways of doing it, I feel like you bring some of those pieces back to the things that you do. And I feel like as a fisherman, it helps me to grow and, like, just makes me more well-rounded and makes me understand the nuance of what I'm trying to do.
That's a great example. So I got into sight fishing. Like I said, in the 80s, we're in the Ginu. We don't know we're sight fishing. We're fishing. But I think we all know Griff Griffiths. His brother, a couple of my buddies invited me on a fly fishing trip to the Bahamas. Now, I don't own fly gear. This is back in the day. I don't own fly gear. Never been to the Bahamas. But I've seen people on TV go to the Bahamas and fly fish for bonefish. So he goes, do you want to go? Yes. I don't even think about it. Don't ask the wife. I'm going. I'm kind of that way. That's kind of what goes along with the Charlie doesn't do anything.
I've picked up on that.
a lot of just yes, great wife, right? That's the main base of the story. So we're planning this trip. It's about 2 months out. It's like a couple $1,000, right? Yeah. I'm stoked. We're going to the Bahamas to go do what I've seen on TV my whole childhood. Yeah. And we're getting ready. Griff calls like 2-3 days before. He goes, you ready? You got everything? I was like, oh man, I got my Columbia shirt, and I got my pants and my sunglasses. He's like, oh man, cool. Yeah, you want that? You want this? I think he actually gave us some bad advice on pants, but that's another story. And he goes, okay, what fly rod and reel did you get? I'm like, oh, I don't own fly rod and reels. He goes, this is the Bahamas. You bring all your stuff. You got to know how to do stuff. This is like a professional outfit. I said, well, you called the wrong guy. Like, I can catch a bass, redfish, snapper, marlin. I can do this, but sight fishing, bonefish, fly rod. He goes, well, you're in. Like, you're our guy. Like, for the cost, for the trip, for the private plane to get over there, all the stuff. So I go to Old Florida Outfitters over in Watercolor, and I go in there and I'm like, hey, I need a few fly rod and reels. Well, now, $7,000 later, this $2,000 trip.
Yeah, it ain't cheap.
I have to call little mama. I have to call her up. I'm like, hey, and my personality, I don't go with too much detail. I just tell her, I'm now a fly fisherman.
Yeah.
$7,000. I mean, we're working at Winn-Dixie on refrigeration. I mean, we're not rich people. We're working hard. Yeah. So I told her, I said, we're now fly fishermen. She goes, what do you mean? I said, I come home with all this stuff. We go to the Bahamas, like you said.
It's an investment, man.
It's an investment. Still have them, right? They still work. Got T-Boris, of course. Got decent stuff, good stuff from over there. But we get down there, and like you said, we don't know. Here I am with a fly rod. I get on the boat the first day. The guy's saying, do you see these fish? I'm saying no. Yeah. 3 days later, I'm seeing them. By the second day, he realizes I have no clue how to cast a fly rod. He takes the time with me. Me and him are still friends. Frankie down in Two Boys Lodge. Cool. But it's like you said, I learned so much from that. I brought that back here. Yeah. 20-something, 30 years ago. Brought that back here and really expanded my knowledge and how it works. And redfish here, we call them redneck bonefish. It's the same concept as going to the
Same approach. Yeah.
Same approach. So you're exactly right.
It definitely opens your eyes, and that's what I've loved about seeing those different things. And just, man, there's so many great fishermen you run into on these trips, and picking their brains about, nuance of their knowledge too. I got a friend of mine that used to pro fish, and he actually won world championship and all that. And I fished with him enough that, man, I have dug in and asked him questions and, learned so much from him and his expertise. That it's just an evolution, man. You got to ask questions and be inquisitive.
100%. I'll ask questions. I know to talk a little bit more on the boat than my buddies are, but I'm a little. It's funny you're that way. That's how most of my buddies are. I am a little opposite. I always call it kind of the blue collar way of fishing. I kind of just the hard way I do it, but it works out the same. My fly cast isn't pretty, but I can land it where I need it to.
Yeah,
needed to. Definitely not a technical fisherman. More of a feel fisherman, and always worked all the time, and just took those small moments of yeses into fishing and around work.
Yeah, for sure. Well, there's always a balance of those things too. So.
Yeah, I pushed the balance a little bit.
Yeah. So, man, tell me a little bit about like you starting, your company, selling your company, and then creating this lifestyle that you've created where you get to do these things around the world. How did that come to be?
Yeah. Worked at Winn-Dixie, refrigeration guy, even moved for them back in the day. Had a baby with Haley. Haley's my wife for 28 years. We've been together 28 years, 29 years. And working hard. Winn-Dixie actually claims bankruptcy in early 2000s. And I've been with them since 94. So been there a long time. And they claimed bankruptcy, and we moved for them. We moved back here with the baby. Wanted to be around the grandparents and the parents and family. And my buddy Tim, great dude, super smart, so smart. I'm a grocery store kid, as I call myself. I'm real good at the grocery store stuff, but he's good at everything else in that world. And he called me one day. He goes, "Hey, I'm starting a company. I think me and you would do good together." And I just, once again, here I am. Yeah.
You're like, all right.
Go home, tell Haley, hey, we're quitting Winn-Dixie. And they just claimed bankruptcy, so we had lost all our benefits and stocks, like hundreds of thousands of dollars of stocks. Even as a young guy, we were investing.
It's a big deal back in those days.
That was 401k was life back then.
Yeah.
So I was like, if they don't have any money, we don't have any money. Let's go to work. And we did good. We stayed local. We stayed small.
Yep.
Tim's wife ran the office and ran the operations, and then him and I went out and blue collar worked. We owned the company, sure, but we worked every day. Used my wife's local connections, our local connections, and we did deals with the biggest of the big Fortune 1 companies, Winn-Dixie Accors, gas stations, cell phone companies. We were really doing a good job, and then one day we'd done it for over 10 years, way over 10 years, and a company wanted to buy in, and we were ready, let that go, and a little scary. He stayed with that company a while. I stayed for a short time, but it wasn't my forte. What they wanted to do, they didn't like grocery stores. They liked everything else, which is cool, and I just told him, not for me. We sold. I'm just going to see what happens. And from Winn-Dixie, from this connection, this company came from Europe, and they took over work from Winn-Dixie, 7-Eleven, Walmart, and some of my connections there at both, at the grocery stores and at this company, just put my name in this, told me I need to come to work.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, that's not for me. Like, I'm a local refrigeration dude.
Yeah.
Might start another company. Not really sure. Not really stoked to start another company yet. Not, go fishing a lot, but started fishing a lot. And the company called. They're like, no, we want you on board.
Yeah.
I'm like, me? Like, Bayou George boy? Like, I'm just a local Panama City guy, And this company's international. They're Australia, Asia, Europe. Their home office in Scotland. And I was like, okay. And I started off as North Florida. And then we're expanding to companies, and I'm getting the call from the office, man, you're doing great. You want to move up? And I'm like, well, I don't think so. I'm like, no, come to the office, go to Jacksonville, move up, become a director. They take all the Winn-Dixies over. So where do I come from as Winn-Dixie?
Yeah.
So they put me over the Winn-Dixie format, like finance, HR, KPIs, SLAs, budgets, everything, parts, come up with a parts plan. Well, here I am. I'm like, man, I'm over 600 Winn-Dixies, 400 techs, the off, like, but working hard. Always working hard. That blue collar blood is working hard. No college. I went to Haney for 3 months and dropped out. Dropped out of Haney. Well, Dad needed me to go to work. He worked at Winn-Dixie. We didn't have time to go to education,
Yeah.
So came from Winn-Dixie, was stoked to be there. Once again, this company, Winn-Dixie's at this time selling to Aldi. We don't know that. We know something's going down. And now I've transferred over to a bigger company, and I have a cool job. But during all that, when I sold, I kind of told them, I'm going to produce good numbers. I'm going to produce your KPIs, your budget. I'm going to do better than you need me to do. I'm going to do 100%, not 90% of this SLAs. But I'm going to go fishing.
Yeah.
And I'm going to take care of myself. And I'm going to take care of my family. I'm selfish. But I'm not selfish in a negative way against the family. I want everything for them and myself too. So I just started owning it, fishing it, doing it. And a local guy here, Kyle Pitts, called me one morning. And he just out of the blue, I'm supposed to go to work. He goes, hey, YETI wants to do a photo shoot. I thought about you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, yeah.
Like, all right, man.
Let's do it. Right? I'm working, but I called the guys. At this point, I probably had about 40 guys working for me, 3 managers, salary managers. So I have a little flexibility. It's the first time I had flexibility. I wasn't turning the wrenches.
Yes. I mean, it sounds like that process bought you some freedom.
It bought me freedom. Tons of freedom as long as I was producing.
Yep.
Right? So you always have to, that's the core, right? You got to be good to people so they can be good to you. You can't just be good to yourself without being good to the business, to the people, to the however your customer clientele is. And I said yes, and we get in a little John boat, and we go up to Deer Point Lake, to High Point Landing, and we cruise up to the creek, and we're doing these. I've never been on a photo shoot before. You know, I like pictures. You've probably seen. I got my own little Sony cameras and all the lenses, and we like to do family stuff and fishing. But Kyle's a professional. He's a professional guide and photographer for YETI. I mean, that's a big deal. Especially this is back when their first soft cooler was about to drop.
Yeah, very cool.
So we're doing all these. We're running up the river, and we have a John boat in the creek, and it's kind of they give them a. You know, now I know. We'll get into it, but I do tons of modeling and TV shows and commercials for fishing.
And I definitely want
this is how it started.
Yeah.
So we're doing this, and we get done, and we worked all day. And I was like, man, this is crazy. I thought we were just going to go have some fun and take some photos, and we were having fun. Kyle's an awesome dude, and I was hanging out with him last night at the mostly football game, JV game. But we do all this, and next thing I know, I'm in a magazine. Straight up, full page.
That's got to be surreal.
And it was the first thing. We were walking down the dock carrying the YETI cooler with some dude's rods we borrowed that were all tangled. You couldn't tell in the photo, but they're all tangled. We just grabbed him out of his garage. And it was the first picture we took of the whole day after we worked all day. I mean, I was tired. We were doing the same poses and stuff. And I got home, I told my wife, I said, my modeling leg hurts. And she Miss Haley's the most loving person, but she don't put up with BS. And she kind of gave me a little hell about that one. But
I bet.
But I get in it. So Aaron, not long after that, there's this magazine. And I don't even think Kyle ever got a copy. I got a couple copies, but it's like American Outdoors or something. I don't even remember. And you open it up, and there's 2 YETI ads. And there's me coming down the dock at Deer Point and Phil Robertson for the Duck Commander.
No kidding.
Shooting like a similar thing. And I looked at my wife, and I'm like, this is whack.
This is crazy.
It's cool, but it's like, it's a little wacky, right? And they were making fun of me. And literally not long after, another local guide, Phil Wilds. These 2 dudes, Kyle and Phil, are the fishiest guys in Bay County for inshore, little light offshore, 10 miles in. They're just fishy dudes. They're crazy fishy. And he calls. He goes, hey, you shot with Kyle at YETI. It went good. I said, he goes, well, hey, there's a photo shoot coming up tomorrow, and the talent dropped out. Yeah. And I'm like, Phil, bud, I'm not talent. That was cool. Like, that was like my thing. I made it into a magazine. That was like my thing,
Yeah, very cool.
And Phil goes, no, you're fine. He goes, bring Tim with you. And I don't know if you know Tim. He's a local guy here. Works for YETI. Working for YETI almost over 10 years now. That's the guy I've always fished with. You see all the pictures, me and Timmy fish. And he goes, bring Tim with you. We'll have some fun. He said, the talent dropped out. It ain't no big deal. Y'all just show up. I was like, okay. So once again, say yes. Next day, no time, call work. Hey, I'm going to go do this shoot. Yeah. And me and Tim get on this boat. Phil just got a new boat. And when you do photo shoots, and now I know at the time, it was a Hummingbird, Minn Kota, Talon. Now it's Raptor. It was Talon at the time. Well, they put maybe 20, 30 grand of product on his boat. They bring 20 people down. They've got like hotels, an army. Food.
That's amazing. Yeah.
Now the YETI shoot.
So you didn't know this going into it. You just show up and it's
I know
like
me and Kyle Pitts went and shot a picture with a camera and kind of broed out on the John boat.
Yeah, and then the next time there's like an army. The
next time this is real. A girl calls right before we get on the boat. Hey, I need your headshot. I need your agency. And I said, I'm going back to work. I'm an AC repairman, sweetheart. Like that's that's me. I was just like, I'm an AC repairman. Yeah. She goes, oh my God, just send me a selfie on your phone. So I'm like, I don't even know what to do. I'm like, selfies. And then she calls back, you're fine. I'm like, oh, that's good. You're okay. So we get on the boat, and now there's a production. There's follow boats and chase boats, and there's producers and script writers and all these things.
That had to be overwhelming for you.
Well, Philip's wife calls. Yeah. Almost to the pass. Their new baby's coming early.
Oh, God.
So we turn around, all the production bets, so we're done. Me and Tim are like, cool, we get the day off, no more pressure. Yeah. Philip just hands us the keys, tells them. Charlie and Tim got it, they can fish. Yeah. Aaron, dude, I was like, I'm running a $30 million a month budget at the time. And I'm good at that. I'm okay with it. I'm
thrown into being a model for commercials and all that.
Model. Now I'm the captain, the model, the talent, the running the plays for them. So the guy, cool dude, Greg, he is now my guy. And it'll go into another pretty funny story shortly. But Greg goes, hey, man, we just want to catch a kingfish. Let's start off with a kingfish. Can you do that? Well, where do you catch a kingfish in Panama City? The whistle buoy. I'm not a big kingfish guy. But the whistle buoy is where you go catch a kingfish. We've done that since we were kids. So we're going through Phil's boat and digging through. He has dead cigar minnows. Yeah. I'd wire in a kingfish rig. Everybody knows it's a single hook, treble hook, kingfish rig and a cigar minnow. We out the whistle buoy. Tim is not an out of the pass fisherman. He'll catch some, he'll look for tarpon down the beach and stuff like that. But out of the pass is not Tim's thing at all. Yeah. And we're out there. We put it out, go around the whistle buoy. It's on. Like it's on. I'm like, oh, I'm the king. I'm the king. Well, we can't get the fish in. It's like we're fighting a fish. Yeah. I'm like, dude, we might have a shark. So now I'm like, all right, we're catching a fish. We're on a shoot. What do? I just start looking like we're like models, I think. Or what would a fishing model do? I'm kind of like posing a little bit and holding the wheel. Like, well, we have a monster cobia. Yeah. A king rig on a steel leader. Yeah. Well, then we have to gaff it for the pictures, and we're doing this, and we're pumped now. Like, we're now we got a cobia. They wanted a king. We have a cobia. Like, we're tenfold what they wanted. We do all this stuff. We get it in, and I think actually, if you there's a big hummingbird truck now. It's like a 50-foot trailer. If you go down the road, we're the picture on the trailer. With that fish
with the cobia.
With the cobia on there still, awesome. And that was years ago.
Heck yeah.
And we get it up, and literally we get it all done, and then he goes to his checklist. He goes, well, cobia wasn't on there. We need to go catch kingfish.
I had a feeling you were going to tell me that, man.
And I was like, okay, well, thank goodness we caught one. Next run around, we catch one. Yeah. And that day just turned into this epic day. What else can we catch? We caught the biggest snapper on a jig. I was going through his boat, going through his rigging, didn't know the boat, didn't know spots. They're like, catch a snapper.
They're like, man, this guy's awesome.
Well, I know 60 feet to 90 feet should be snapper. That's all I know, and I kind of know the direction we would go. So I just hit this button on his bottom machine, this brand new hummingbird I can't run, and we're doing this, and we jig up this 38, it was like 29, 30-pound snapper. Huge thing. It's still on the Bass Pro when you go there. It's still the picture of the thing. It's crazy.
It's epic, man.
Little tunas, blackfin tunas. We caught a dolphin that day. We just wrapped it out. Redfish inshore. We do all these and we catch it. And it's the first day ever. We go back in okay, meet us at it was a boatyard, I think at the time. Meet us at the boatyard for dinner. We need to recap the day. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I get home. My wife's like, what are you doing all day? I'm like, fishing, modeling. 2 times in a row now.
That's what I do, baby.
We've struck gold. The AC Prepare Boys now modeling, It's just a huge joke. And she goes, you're an idiot. I'm like, I kind of am. And I kind of realized I kind of not the most organized, smart dude, but I'm down to help. Yeah. And then we go to dinner. We're sitting there, and this whole table, they have their laptops out, and they're discussing, and they're looking at you, and they're looking at the thing, and they're doing this stuff. And I'm like, oh, crap. I'm just trying to eat my food. And they come over, look, and you killed it. Awesome day. Perfect day. I was like, oh, okay. We just need one shot. It's going to be tomorrow afternoon, sunset shot behind Shell Island We went out and did that shot. I kind of got a little too close, they said, and sprayed them a little too hard. But that kind of went legendary. And once again, this guy, Greg, he's working with a marketing company. And he's like, hey, man, in the future, we'll call you. Yeah. I'm like, cool. He's a nice dude. I'm a nice dude. I'm like,
sure, man. Yeah.
Bro, he's going to call me. 3 weeks later, I'm on the porch. We live at Tapestry Park on the beach. We built a little house. My wife loves that neighborhood. And
so I think my sister used to live by you at Tapestry Park.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because I mentioned you were coming on here, and so I think she knows you. Who is she? Lynn Sears.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Nice. That's cool. I had no clue.
Yeah, small world.
We love Tapestry. Yeah. Tapestry's a rad little community.
Yeah, she said you used to hang out on the corner on your phone all the time.
Always on the phone. I got 3 right here on the desk, And Greg calls. I'm on the front porch of Tapestry, and I'm talking. He goes, hey, would you be interested in flying down to Mazatlan, Mexico, and shooting a bass fishing show?
Yeah, man. I watched your videos on that. That's amazing.
And I said, yeah, of course. Once again, I'm just like, yeah. He goes, it's going to be a 10, 13-day trip, whatever. We got to go down and shoot a show. Can't tell you nothing about it. And I'm like, I'm in. Cool. Send me whatever. Click.
Sure. Sounds awesome.
Tell my wife, hey, I'm going down to Mazatlan, this resort. Billy Chapman's Lake El Salto, the biggest bass lake in the world, is the catchphrase for it.
That place is amazing, man.
And I hear about it. Once again, I've heard about all these things. I'm not planning on going there. That's not my destiny, I don't think. And then she goes, well, I'm going with you. So Haley, she's like, I'm going with you. And I was like, oh, I don't know. I don't think that's how this works, because what I just did with these people, it's a real thing. Mm-hmm. She goes, well, you're not going if I don't go. And I'm like, Aaron, I'm like me. I'm like, I'm still going, sweetie. Like, I love you to death. Like, I love death. Like, there's like no more love for anybody than Miss Haley for me, but I'm still going. I'm a kid from Bayou George watching these shows and seeing things.
Epic trip.
Me and Dad went on a couple bass tournament trails, and we thought we were big dogs, you know, in this old 2-stroke Mercury that barely ran. And
I've bass fished in a whole lot of different places around this planet, man, and that is the best bass fishery I've ever been to.
So if you saw that show, I show up in Mazatlan with all these people that are somebody.
Yeah.
They were all in their own rights. One was Willie Young. Now he's my boy. I was at ICAST with him this year and in past years, and he's the coolest dude. Chicago Cubs NFL player, you know, tight end. Louis Vito, U.S. Olympic snowboarder. You got Chris Zaldanes on the show. Mike Escamilla was the host. I was a huge BMX skateboarder, still skateboard every day, or try to. He was the host of it. I'm like, holy cow.
Yeah.
You know, Andy Bell was on Sweatpants Media, who put this on. Well, Andy Bell's an old motocross racer that I followed as a kid. Loved dirt bikes. These teeth are glued in fake because of dirt bikes.
Yeah. Well, and that format was almost like a kind of a reality show sort of thing, competition. And, you know, for the folks that haven't seen it at home, how'd you do?
So, well, I didn't know that. They wouldn't, once again, when they made that call, they said they wouldn't tell us nothing about it. It was just show up.
Yeah.
So here's me and these people that are kind of big deals in their own rights, and fishing people. There was the biggest YouTuber in the world. Yeah. So it was a reality. We called it Survivor of Bass Fishing. You know, it was like this reality show. I had no clue. We're just down there. Well, I find out as we're going through the show, I'm staying in there. I think I called it the last time. I was kind of like a hair in a biscuit. We're not doing the best. Me and my buddy Seth, I'm just throwing the wacky worm at them. That's all I know to do on the bass really well is a wacky worm. And we're on this show and we're going through, and we are not the top performing team at all. And there's 4 teams, 8 people. And every day there's a challenge, and at the end of the day, somebody goes home.
Yeah, somebody gets eliminated. Yeah.
And we're never winning the first morning. And
but y'all just kind of hung in there
all the way to the end, to the last day. Well, now it's us, and I called them Team Pretty Boy if you watch the show, which was found out not to be the best thing for corporate TV. But it's my personality, I reckon. And we win the show. We beat these guys. Well, and then in the middle of the show, the big highlight for me, besides winning the show, was crazy, was that they flew Kevin VanDam down.
Yeah.
And I'd never met him before. And they fly him in. They're like, hey, you're going to fish against. They didn't tell us that. He came in a helicopter, and we got on the boat and went and fished against him. Like, he flew in, landed, and then we get on a boat. He comes out and says, I'm about to beat your butt, pretty much, and just does it. Like, we go on a boat. Kevin had a guide. He's with Willie Young, the NFL guy. They have a guide. The reason he had a guide is he couldn't use the boats we were on because they weren't his Nitro sponsor boats, so he couldn't get in the kind of boat we're in. Yeah. So they put him in a guide boat, which is unmarked. They go out there and fish. Well, me and Seth, my partner, we're like, we're done. Yeah. So, like, we actually go to places we never even fished on that lake just because we were almost like mentally whipped. As soon as Kevin VanDam comes to fish against you,
we're gonna get
you're done.
We're gonna get destroyed.
We could have just had margaritas at the bar with Billy all day. But we went for it, and it was a 3-hour challenge. Biggest bass, one bass. Didn't matter how many you caught. One bass weighed in.
One big bass. Yep.
That's it. And Kevin's fished that lake with Billy 20 times, 30 times. He knows the lake. He has a guide. Me and Seth went somewhere we'd never been all week. Like, the biggest, dumbest move ever. So it's 2 hours, 45 minutes in. I'd caught one fish. It was probably 2 pounds, 2.2, real small fish, which is a fish. You know how bass fishing is. Maybe they're not catching something, but it's Kevin VanDam, so we know he is.
Yeah, you know he's going to catch one.
So Seth, and he's the smartest move ever. We were just out. He goes, let's go to our hole. Well, our hole is like 12 minutes away. And I was like, I just said, yeah. I had no other thing to do.
All right, yeah.
We go there. He casts one time, 1 minute to go. They're timings. There's boats with timers and judges. And you can't see all this. There's a production behind that. And literally Seth throws, and he's catching this fish. And if you watched it, I literally said, shut up. Like, I wasn't even like, I was out of it. Like, he's like, get the net now. I'm like, nah, man, I'm not even going for it. Like, you know, and sure enough, that fish breaks the water, and that fish won. We beat Kevin, knocked him out. And I think our fish was like almost 6 pounds. His was 4.5. So we had a 4.5 pounder.
That's awesome.
And the last
place
minute
is loaded with big bass, man.
With big bass. So anybody can do it there.
Yeah.
And we beat Kevin VanDam in this bass fishing thing. And now I've worked with him since. I was the Bassmaster Classic in Birmingham. I've been on stage talking with him. Now I've done much more stuff since then. But we beat him, and I was just I didn't care about the following day competing against the next team as much as that. And we did that. We won that.
It's pretty cool to say you beat Kevin VanDam.
It's insane.
In anything. Yeah.
It's funny you have me on the podcast. I really don't talk a lot about stuff like this. I kind of like to be the dude that kind of didn't have the homeless guy in Sweet Bay that has no job. That's kind of my motive, you know. But I appreciate you having me on talking, because I do have a lot of crazy stuff I've done.
And you've had so many cool experiences that you've done, and that's the beauty of taking trips like that, man. Is something cool and noteworthy happens when you do it, and that's why you got to get out there and take trips and experience life.
I was just about to say, you got to do it. And I know there's all kind of situations for people, family, monetary situations. I know some things are tough, but even going to, you got to think where we have done. I mean, I've caught blue marlin. I've won a blue marlin tournament with a team, out of Texas, which is insane too. That's a whole nother level of insanity for my brain, what I've done. But even if it's going to the bay to fish off the shore, it could be that person's adventure if they come from where I come from. A lot of people, when I went to Mosley, I graduated in 95, they would do a survey of the town kids of who hadn't been to the Panama City beach. Now, this is 9th, 10th, 12th grade kids, 17 years old. There was a percentage of kids that never been to the beach, over the bridge back then.
It's crazy that people that live here aren't experiencing that. And, it's not just the beach, too. I mean, we have great freshwater fishing around here, bay fishing. I mean, from a fishing standpoint, there's a wide variety of things that we get to do around here that we're super lucky that we are.
And that's what I tell my wife. And I think a lot of it comes from my mom and my grandma's side. Immigrants coming to America just have a better life. They didn't come over here on a boat for me not to be, a badass and do cool stuff. Even at work, my mom didn't come over here. My grandma didn't come over here for me just to be lazy and lay down. And if you ask me to do something, it's gonna be yes.
Well, one thing I'm glad with you, man, is that you've worked hard in your life and you're young enough to be able to enjoy these things that you're going to enjoy, man. Like that's part of getting out and doing bucket list trips and doing it when you're young enough to do so is like, man, you physically can get out there and have fun catching marlin and going back and doing crazy things, and you're diving off the boat, getting I mean, it's you can do it.
Yep. No, if I had to tell anybody, that's right. It's life is what you make it, right? It's what you want to be. My dad told me, my wife, that when we got married, he goes, just make it your marriage. Make it your marriage. Don't make it anybody else's marriage. Don't worry about what other people think. Don't do wrong. It's always about being a good person at the core, being good to yourself, but being good to everybody. Everybody wins. Yeah. And so it's just saying yes comes from, I believe, my background. I didn't come up with, like I said, education wasn't a thing. I was in honors gifted classes in 9th grade, like 10th, 11th classes. Didn't even know we were smart. We just knew as soon as I could get out of high school, I could go make some money. That's what my parents knew. They learned from my sister. She was 7 years younger and went off to, she has a master's degree, super smart young lady, and doing good stuff. And I was just like, we're going to go be good to people and work hard.
I think so much of life is working hard and repetition, right? And fishing's the same way too, man.
100%.
If you do something and you consistently are working at and getting better at that, you're eventually going to be really good at what you do.
Pay attention. Don't do the same dumb things all the time, And I'm hard about that. I'll do dumb stuff all the time. But I'm like, stop. Let's do something different. And most of the time, that pays off. Yeah. Make a change. That trip, that guy came down to fish with me to sight fish. We were doing the same thing I knew how to do, and we saw 400 redfish in 2 days. We saw them. They were there. He could have caught them. He just didn't know to identify it. Yeah. And I had to tell myself, hey, Charlie, you could catch these fish. He can't. What am I going to do? So I took him to a spot. He still sight fished it. It was totally legit, but a better scenario for him.
He had to learn. He was starting at the beginning of that knowledge.
At the very beginning. They see you doing this, and they just think, how cool, how awesome, let's go do it. But it's just not possible to do.
Yeah, for sure. Nice. Where's a place that you've never been fishing that it's on your list?
Yeah, I want to catch a bonefish in Hawaii. I've never been to Hawaii. I've never been to the standard old places most people go in their life. Yeah.
Just crazy places that are like dreamed.
Right. Go to Mazatlan. Not everybody's going to Mazatlan. Well, I've been there, going to the Bahamas, these small lodges, but going to I want to go to Hawaii and catch a bonefish. They're huge. They're awesome. Going to the Bahamas is fun. And you can catch a 10.
Fly fishing,
of course. Fly fishing in Hawaii. I got two good captain buddies, one in Merritt Island, one in Miami. And I've caught bonefish with them, and they're insane. Hansen and Willie Lee. These two dudes they're Maverick skiff guys. They work for Maverick, and they are, Flip Pallet. Willie Lee was Flip's protege. Young kid, met him. Flip told him to become a guide. I get to fish with this dude. I'm on a text thread with these guys every day. Yeah. And even to be on a text thread with these two dudes, and they probably wouldn't want me to say this, but it's amazing to me. There's two top-end bone fishing, permit, red fishing, tarpon guides that I text with every day.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
The AC guy from Panama City. Yeah. Now, the funny thing is when you go down to the bonefish or redfish, Willie's going to make you fix his AC. You know what I mean?
So when you were in business or through these experiences you got to be a part of, is that how you cultivated those relationships?
You know, AC repair in Florida, you're Superman, right? You're a superhero. And you don't act like that and that's the problem.
Yeah.
The guys act like that. A lot of your AC, I've never done residential errands. So that's a whole different thing with me is residential's a whole nother ballgame. Like I wouldn't have a clue what residential, I still call a local company to fix mine.
Yeah.
If it breaks, I mean, I can tinker with it, but I just call them, hey boys, I don't have the parts, the time, I got stuff to do. I got $1 million I'm over here, this budget, I got to balance. Come look at the AC, but I'm not above it. I just don't have the efficiency and the time. But if you have that skill, and you're humble about it, and you do good for people, and you meet the right people through that, it's funny. Like you go to their house and you fix their AC, and then they take you and you catch a tarpon or a bonefish. We're almost on equal playing fields. Yeah. So if you can take that to any industry, whatever you're a professional at and whatever you're good at, just because this idol or heroes, like pro football player, Willie can't fix his own AC. He lives down in Florida. We can go fishing anytime we want to, and I'm going to go look at his AC for him. You know, it's whatever you're doing in life is important as long as you make it important and make it right.
Well, and the importance of those relationships, man. And being able to take care of somebody and the impact that has. But it's interesting to me how, you know, you have, you know, humble beginnings and you've been able to get into things that people dream about doing. And I love it for you, man. I think it's amazing that you're in all these different things and you're in commercials. And I mean, you're in an underwear commercial and I mean,
once again,
you're everywhere.
That came from being just working hard. When I go on these shoots, you would see, if anybody's ever been on shoots or if you are talent, sometimes the talent's above the process. They're the talent, right? Well, I'm unloading the boats and pilling up the boats or work. If your sandboard needs to be picked up, the cameras are heavy. I was carrying cameras in Mazatlan and the crew's like, what are you doing? And I was like, well,
just trying to help out,
trying to get done faster. It's hot out. Let's get this done. They couldn't believe it, right? They couldn't imagine that. Well, that turned into what you just mentioned. I get this call one day out of the blue and my buddy calls from the film industry. And he makes movies. He does all this stuff. I've had opportunities to move to LA to shoot movies. And my wife's like, you are not doing that. I'm like, no, we're staying in Panama City. We're based here, right? But just working hard. The guy goes, if you moved out here, you work hard and you're nice, you don't have to be pretty. I mean, my teeth are fake and glued in and craziness. You know, I need new teeth. He goes, it doesn't matter. You'll be that character. We'll put you in as whatever. And I'm like, man, I can't do it. But he calls, hey, we got to shoot at, you ever heard of TPC Sawgrass? And I'm like, I've golfed. I like to golf a little bit. I'm not a great golfer, but I'll go and watch you be good at it and have fun. And he goes, well, there's a shoot over at TPC they want you to do. I'm like, perfect, let's go. Just drive over to TPC.
Did he tell you what it was?
He did not. He did not. So, like, you know.
I've seen the commercial. So.
I'm at the golf course, and there's more to come on that. There's, more and less clothing to come, but this is a series. And we get over there, and sure enough, the day before, the guy calls, he goes, hey, we're with Saks Underwear. We're going to shooting a Saks Underwear commercial tomorrow. And I'm like, oh, no, I'm coming to shoot a golf shoot. They're like, oh, yeah, it's on the golf course.
That's what it is, yeah.
Well, I don't know that Gigino, all these famous caddies are Saks Underwear models. Yeah. And we're the amateurs that they're catering at the TPC. So I'm here at this famous golf course. No reason in the world that AC guys should be at the golf course.
It's just funny that they would call you.
Bro,
you know?
I'm there. Well, Aaron, I show up and it's me and 5 other wonderful, beautiful men. Like, they are pretty. Like, if you see a real actor, like a real model actor, they're like way better looking than me and you, bro. We're like normal dudes, you know. I have a beard. I always have a beard, you know. I've always had that since the 90s. And I show up and these dudes were doing like, I should Google it. They're doing tests like y'all, yeah. They're like doing their vocals and their mouths and they're making their things. And my buddy wasn't on set, but he had a buddy shooting it that needed somebody he thought that was more normal, like an average Joe.
And that's what I was going to say is maybe guys like you are more authentic.
Middle-aged, middleweight.
Dude, you know? Like,
middle-aged, middleweight models, what I call is on my resume. Middle-aged, middleweight. You know, not skinny, not fat, just kind of a standard. Well, we're doing this, and I called this guy over that my buddy knew. Yeah. And I'm like, hey, dude, I didn't know we were really, like, I'm not an actor.
What did you get me into?
And the dude goes, oh, man, you're going to be all right. Like, they're in the room. Like, we're like and they're like kind of judging each other and seeing who's going to make this. But then they come in, they're like, okay, there's 6 of y'all. 2 are going to get cut the first scene, 2 are going to get cut the second scene, and 1 will get cut the third scene. If you make it through the first scene, you make $1,000, second 2, second, and it's like a staging thing and a thing.
No kidding.
And I'm like, okay, like, rad. And I was staying on my buddy's house, so I had no investment in there. I actually Jacksonville was my home office at the time. I could go to work. If I got cut at 8 in the morning, I could just go to work and it'd be no harm, no foul. Real flexible with work again. Mm-hmm. And we get to the first scene, and they just call me up. They're like, you're in. That's what you saw, that first one, sunrise, and the caddies are there. Yeah. And like, you're in. I'm like, oh, let's go. You know, and I get up there. I'm not the greatest golfer. Caddies are making fun of everything. They're pro caddies. They're caddying. Full Swing was there from Netflix. We shot an episode of Full Swing that was going on with those caddies are on there too. So we're doing this, and they literally, insanely, the guy goes, "You'll do. Everybody else can go home." So these professional guys, they came from Miami to Jacksonville. They drove up for work from Orlando. From all these people drove in, hoping for a paycheck.
And they pick you right away and send everybody home.
And I called my wife, and I'm like, because I kind of told her I could be home at noon. Like I kind of said, hey, this could go bad quick, ugly early. You know.
What does your wife think of all this, man? Like,
she would be a good person to ask that. It's fun. It's so funny. It's not talked about a lot at home. I mean, in like a deep manner. It's very frivolous, very funny, very It's
got to be wild for her to like see you as like, you know, normal Charlie, and then like you're getting to do all this crazy shit. Like I would love to get her perspective on it.
We actually probably need to get her in here just for one blurb. It probably won't be pretty. It might be an X-rated cuss word, you know, I don't know, but you know, I think deep down, her and the kids think it's kind of cool, but you're the dad, you're the family guy, like you're the husband. You got to be respectful, you know. So on the Saks thing, once I told her it was underwear modeling, which happened, I got to my skivvies on a green and hit a golf club. She told me, she goes, you will not do like she told me no to Mexico. She told me no to bonefish. Like she told me no to everything, and I still do it. She literally sat me down and said, you are not leaving this house to go there tomorrow. And I said, if I've ever done anything, sweetheart, because that's not my job. My job is to make sure grocery stores operate correctly and motivate technicians, blue collar boys. That's my motive, you know, in life. And she just sat me down. I said, I don't want to get a divorce. But I wanted to go do this. That's how much this. I mean, for me and the boys to talk about me being a Marky Mark, the underwear model. Yeah. It's legendary.
It's freaking hilarious, man.
It's hilarious. Yeah. So I've done that. It's
like almost like a country song gone wrong, man. Yeah.
I'm a loud breathing Saks underwear model, and I can't even say it out loud, really. But no, it's just getting into being good to people. I worked hard on shoots. I worked hard to film. So the reason we went to Mazatlan Air and I missed that was. The funniest part was I found out the day before, after I beat Kevin, after we beat Kevin, I was only there to shoot the TV commercial.
Really?
They flew me down knowing I was fun, cool, could hang out in Mazatlan, wasn't going to cause a fuss. I'd get kicked off day 1 or 2, and I would go shoot this full-length nice. Like it's been on ESPN for years. I've got an ESPN national TV ad that I'm on. I'm the only guy on the boat fishing from this, but that's why I was there. They didn't tell me I was there to get kicked off. They didn't want to. It was reality. It was.
But that was not. That's not.
I was the average Joe. Yeah. I think my title on the show was inshore fly fisherman, but it was originally AC repairman to get kicked off. Yeah. But I think once I got so far and beat everybody, they kind of had to act like I was more legit than I was.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
They kind of. I mean, it's their products. They were stoked that the average Joe used their product and beat everybody and learned how to use the trolling motor and the graphing and all.
That's pretty awesome.
But I was there to shoot this commercial. So after we went the full length, they had to stay and. When I say the company they're shooting the show, they shoot all the Lexus commercials, Toyota TRD commercials. They shoot Andy Bell's company, Sweatpants Media, shoots the biggest of the big commercials for everybody. Yeah. Black Rifle Coffee, all their new ads are Andy's. Insane. I mean, he's winning like Grammys and stuff. They're shooting my dumb butt, you know, winning the show. But also now I think they had to spend a few $100,000 to keep me there the next few days at this resort to shoot the TV commercial.
That's wild.
So, but once again, they had to call, and you might not know this, but Minn Kota Hummingbird is a Johnson Outdoor company. They're owned by Johnson & Johnson. Huge company. Yeah. Well, they got to call home office and be like, hey.
This guy made it to the end, yeah.
Right? And to get me on the show, I found out after this, like Greg, my buddy Greg I meet down here, there was, I can't remember, and Greg tells a story sometimes, but I'm guessing 100 to 200 people in the industry for this show. And as they're going down and going down, Greg has my picture, and he literally says he's on the show. And everybody at the table, and you can imagine 5 to 20 people spending who knows, $1 million on a production, saying, "Who's that guy? No, you're an idiot." Because there's people that people know in the industry want to know. And literally, he said it got down to like 30 people, and they're like, "He's gone." Like like somebody's like trying to grab the picture.
And you just kept sticking in there.
And
that's amazing.
He literally fought for me.
That's
right?
cool.
Me. And then that's when I'd be like, dude, this dude, and I didn't know this at the time, even from the show. And he told me at the show, he goes, "You proved me right."
That's awesome.
He said,
and that opened other doors. Man, that's amazing.
It's opened so many things of what I've done. Just to go to ICAST is cool for me, just to see it. And then you go there and realize down there, they call me the mayor. I've worked with YETI and Costa and Johnson Outdoors and Skinny Water. And you start talking about the people, and like the pros are like, "Dude, can you introduce me to them?" And I'm like,
me?
Me. Yeah. I got back, the thing. And if you want to hear a crazy story, I don't think I put it in anything in a wild story from ICAST 3 years ago. I'm down there, and these are Costa new Grand Cats. Mm-hmm. Well, I had the OG Grand Cats on, OG from like the 90s. Wore them down there. I wasn't with Costa, I was with Cortland's Fly Lines. They invited me down there with Willie Lee and Hanson, those two dudes. And we're walking around, and one of our good buddies, who's now a regional southeast for Costa, lives in South Walton. Real good buddy, fly fish with his cousin a lot. Mm. And he's like, "Oh, dude, you got the OGs on." I'm like, "Oh, heck yeah, man. I've had these forever. I love Costa, been around Florida forever." And he went to the booth, and we showed somebody. And these young product designers and these new guys in the industry, super smart guys, marketing guys, they didn't even know they were Costas. Like, they literally said Costa Del Mar engraved in the plastic, and the side shields popped on. And I'm wearing them down there, and they're like, "We got to get a hold of those. We got to check these out." And I'm just at ICAST. I'm just walking around saying hey to my people,
some random person.
just in case there's a photo shoot or something. I do want to be like available and talking. I'm available, whatever y'all want to do. I like to have fun. You're gonna fly me to go catch a fish in Miami and pay me $400 and it's free and everything's free? I'm your guy.
Yeah.
Well, we're talking. We get to the bar that night. We're all at the same hotel, and the Costa guys are just like, "Hey, would you help us? Would you mind getting involved? We want to remake these."
Oh, that's cool.
And I'm like, "Yeah, that would be crazy."
Yeah.
We start bar negotiating. We start having a couple drinks. I love a nice little whiskey drink, some nice rum, but I'm just not going to get blasted. I'm old. I got a family. But we're having some drinks, and they're getting a little probably more blasted than I was by far. Mm. Well, next thing I know, Aaron, I have a napkin at ICAST on the bar with Costa Del Mar headquarters out of LA, the designers, to produce new Grand Catalinas.
That you're drawing on the napkin?
That we're making out of my old model. We're doing all these things. This shouldn't be happening to me, right?
Yeah.
So we're doing all this, and my buddy from South Walton, he's literally I love him. He's a little hard butt, but he's an egger on in a good way. Like, he's like, go, like, keep going.
Yeah.
And we're doing this, and we wake up the next morning, and the guy goes, "I just sold it. We're doing this." And I'm like, "Oh my God, okay, cool." So there's just emails and calls, and they're in LA, and he showed me prototypes. What do you think? Well, these came out. These brand new Grand Catalinas.
Those are them?
Are produced. These came out. These are a limited edition. You can't, I don't think, buy this color, but the lenses are gold. I mean, they're nutty, awesome, new. All the pros wear them. If you go on social media and actually look, they're all wearing these things that I helped produce into the world. We won the 2024 ICAST Eyewear of the Year.
Yeah, that's crazy.
We were up there on stage winning. I have the trophy. We won, like, in my hand on the picture. I'm like up there at Costa holding sunglasses. What's going on? I brought my daughter that year. She got to go with me. She's like my dad's.
She's like, "Dad, who are you?"
Pretty much, because at home you see me. I'm horrible at grass cutting. I'm not good at weeding. I'm not like some superhuman at anything. But that happened in my life. Like, I did that. Now I have 13 pairs of these in every color and lens combination on my dresser.
That's awesome, man. That's wild, man.
What the heck?
What a freaking life, dude.
Don't know. But I don't know. But I appreciate it. And
it sounds like, of all of the things that you get into, man, you're good at going with the flow and also, like, just using your brain and working hard through these things that you come across.
100%. No, when it was time to, it's when it's time to go. It's time to go. You're gonna wake up in the morning and be mediocre. You're gonna wake up in the morning and do it. And taking the kids to school, breakfast. I get up every morning when I'm home and I'm on breakfast, lunch duty. Let's do it, right? Let's get up and show the kids some positivity. The wife's got a ton of stressful things she's doing that I have no clue. She couldn't manage a budget to save her life, what I'm doing, but what she does, I could never even fathom her doing, right? So you got to respect other individuals while you're kicking butt. And I think in anything you're going to do, it's going to just tenfold pay back. And if it doesn't pay back, you did your best and you wanted the best. It's not no harm, no foul if it doesn't pay back.
Yeah. And I would think with the kids, they see these things that you get into and anything's possible, man.
Oh, yeah. That's what I try to tell them. They're so smart. My daughter's going off to college. We just talked about it. She got scholarships I didn't know about, dream of. I didn't know how smart she was. And I knew she was super smart. And I don't mean that negatively. I mean, she was graduated top 10 academically in a high school here. I didn't know a kid that was in the top 10 academically. We're going fishing. We still had gun racks in the truck. We're going up to Steelfield to shoot deer after school. Not that that's bad. That's just where I was. And to raise kids that can see what we do, work hard, but be smart, I tell them.
And how it pays off, too.
Yeah, that's what I told them. I said, you're killing it. And I want you to go to college and get a degree and do. She has a plan, all this stuff. I said, but I do want you to know, no matter what you do, just kick butt at it and do good to people with it. And your smartness plus that, I mean, look at your dad. Yeah. I mean, and we're not rich, right? We're not just we're comfortable. We're having fun. We could be richer if we were more motivated. But what you said earlier, at our age, take advantage of where you're at. Yeah. If you're 32, I can still wake surf. Right? I might not be able to wake surf in 30 years. I don't want to retire then buy a $400,000 wake boat. I want to go today.
You don't want to wait so long in life that you can't do the things that you want to do. Right? Live the dreams now, man. Especially if you have the means to do so.
That's right.
Why wait, man? Because you're never guaranteed those.
You're never guaranteed. Oh, bro. I mean, we've had people pass away. And my friends and my dad's passed away. He passed away young. Out of weird circumstances, and he was getting where he couldn't do everything, and I saw that. And I don't want anybody to go out there and just do something irresponsibly. And a lot of my wife's friends in the past, they've called me out for being irresponsible.
No, but you got to make that time, and that's it. I lost my mom a number of years back too, and one of the things that really stood out to me why I started doing some of the trips I did was the last 10 years of her life. She traveled and had a great time and saw the world and did so many of the things that she valued seeing and doing, and it taught me a lot about taking that time to do it because her time was limited. I didn't know it at the time, but I'm glad she had that 10-year run where she was just having fun and doing things and living life.
Yep, insane. No, I totally agree. And my wife, we're responsible financially because of her, so I'm thankful for that. I wanted to graduate high school. I wanted to drive a Winn-Dixie semi truck and have a dirt bike to just rip. That was my goal. That was as 18, 17 years old, and skateboard a little bit. I always liked skateboarding. But
did you ever think that as a kid you'd be doing some of the crazy shit that you're doing?
I couldn't no. Even I never thought we'd live in Sweet Bay. Not that Sweet Bay is good or bad. It's just not my in my childhood dream was to get a smallest mobile home in the world on the cheapest lot in the world because I didn't want to be home. I wanted to go out ripping the dirt bike. I wanted to go out in the canoe and go rip the creeks. Yeah. So I had a fun lifestyle.
You didn't have those kind of expectations. I was the same way as a kid. It's not like we were poor, but we weren't rich. And I never thought that I would be living the kind of life that I get to live now.
No, so, it's special.
We're very fortunate.
It's special. It doesnesn't happen to everybody. And even if you come up rich, let's say we weren't. Let's see if you come up with and I hang out with a lot of these dudes now that came up, but then they didn't take advantage of that. They took it as an opportunity, but they went and they're still good to people. They're still working hard. Yeah, and those are the guys that have the 92-foot Vikings that you go fish with, right? They took what they had at their level and made it even better and bigger, and then they invite people that can go do stuff with them in a good way, and it's all, we all know the kid that's 20, he's getting into, and I'm not into anything business-wise with Bitcoin or buying 700 houses and renting them out. That tons of people do that, and I love that. And people, but I think it is what I came from, my parents. Now I'm here it's a good progression, but I didn't progress even further financially because I had a lot more fun.
It's what you want.
It's what I wanted. I wanted to enjoy what we had. I want to be responsible with it, but also maximize the life I'm living because it's happened at one time, and it's gonna be the funnest day every day when I wake up. Even that's going to work. Yesterday I was working on these 400-ton systems that produce. They have these new refrigerants that are environmentally friendly. It's really cool. I'm uncomfortable. I'm on this brand new system that I don't know. There's guys there that the reason I'm in Naples yesterday is because they don't know. They called me up. Don't know nothing, but I'm willing to put the work in.
Yeah, and figure it out.
Figure it out. Put the time in. Make some calls. Hey, that's the one thing is make calls. Call somebody. Hey man, I'm down there in Naples. I have no clue what I'm looking at. People don't look down on you because of that. Yeah. They want to help you.
Yeah.
If they look down on you,
they want people to solve problems.
They want them to solve problems. Yep. So just yesterday, I skateboarded on the way home. I hit the skate park on the way home. Had a good time there. But earlier in the day, I might have saved $400,000 in grocery loss. For a company, and that's my value.
Yeah.
That's what I brought to that table, and I'm proud to do that too. Right? It's not just, I see so many kids these days that want to they want to go fishing. They want to go to Mazatlan. They want to go on a big boat and catch a marlin. But they don't understand that between now and then, a lot of stuff has to happen. That's not anything to do with
the hard work is a vehicle to get you there.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. Being good to people in and the internet's changed the world. I'm so stoked to grow up without the internet, without a cell phone.
Yeah, me too.
I have a bunch over here. You saw me drop them off the table before we started, so it's my life. But I'm stoked that I came up and that wasn't my life. We had CB radios.
Well, what it's like. You know what it's like not to live that way. Man. I wholeheartedly agree, man. And I dream of a day where I retire and I disconnect and I'm just living in the natural world.
I have a vision of me and my wife together doing these things, or me with the EPIRB, and she can see what I'm on the EPIRB.
She can find your body if she needs it.
Needs to. But her choice. So she's invited. But we had CBs in our truck, and we had CBs in our bedroom, and we would we're to go negotiate where we're going to fish, ride dirt bikes, camp, whatever it was, and that's a freeing experience in life.
And, for sure.
And we got our kids on Life 360. We're watching them. My kids in college, and I don't use it. I'm a bad example, but my wife uses it. My youngest daughter, hey, are you at the skate park? Yeah. Hey, it shows you're in the middle of the bay. You fishing? Yeah. Like, I'm real bad, Aaron, about not communicating what I'm about to do today. Like, if there's anything I'm not good at in my life is thinking about what I should tell people to do, but I also don't feel like I should have to tell people what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
That's just me. I tell my wife that all the time. She goes, you didn't say all this? I said, you're right. You're right. That's just me. I was working. I'd got all this stuff done. I was going to run some numbers. Tim called. He's going to pull up the Sweet Bay, and we're going to go fly fish a redfish or sight fish a redfish on a super micro reel. Let's go do that. Like, yes, I can come back and do the spreadsheet all night long. There's no clock in, clock out at the industry we're in. It's 24/7 running. The machine doesn't shut down. And I work around a lot of people that get backwards on that and get behind on their work for not working hard. Yeah. But then they don't understand, well, how do you get to do so much? I'm like, because I've already done it, man. I'm 3 months ahead.
Because you get things done.
I'm 3 months ahead.
To get them done. Yep.
My numbers are there. I can predict what I'm going to spend. I can predict what I have. There's always one-offs. I could have a cliff fall off, and I had one not long ago that cost me $2 million. It wasn't my budget. But when that happens, I've projected enough where I can have a cushion, right? Yeah. But
you've been around long enough, stuff's
that's work. That's my work side, and I've turned that into flexibility for the industry.
Yeah.
So,
I'm grateful that you've been able to take that in life and make it what you want it to be, man. And I love that you've had so many positive experiences and. You're living life to the fullest, man. Yeah. From the stories you've told me before, man, I just, I think there's a lot of people that envy, the kind of life that you're leading, man. So hopefully we can take some of, what you've said today and take it with us.
They do. People do envy it, and they mention it. But I get real with them. I talk to them, and I do that at work. I'm a motivator at work. I'm a person that takes people in that aren't doing well at life at our industry, and I take them up, and I bring the same thing to the locals and in the community and my friends people that don't understand what I've done, and like I said, I've had it's nothing negative. We're like, hey, you seem to be having a lot of fun. You seem to be doing this, and I said, I am. I really am. I'm enjoying it, and I'm also doing all this other stuff, but I don't want to explain myself,
You're balancing it well.
Yeah. You have to. You got to want a lot for yourself and others. Yeah. And that's my balance. That's what I do. It's cool. Every day I want to go do this, but I also want to make sure all this is done for other people too.
Yeah. Awesome. So, one more question for you before we wrap up today, man. And I don't know if you're going to know the answer to this, but what's next for you, man?
I never dreamed of the job I have right now, and it's amazing. It's on my email, it says Charlie Breitenbach, blah, 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 company I work for, Top Gun. and it's a very important position, but it's a very flexible position. Man, just right now, immediately is make sure the oldest does kicks butt in college. Give her every advantage she needs or has, and support. She's an adult. I told my wife that she's an adult.
Yeah,
she's in college. She needs to do it, but support whatever she needs to get done. That's not financially. She's done her own scholarships where she's fine that way. But mentally, if she has whatever, I'm ready for that. Every day I think of her in that position. Youngest daughter going to high school. Every day I send her a little. I'll send her a little prayer for a young lady going to high school or something. I'll come up in the morning and make sure she knows I'm thinking of her, making sure she uses all her strengths, and then wanting the best for my wife. She has a huge career. She's been in the insurance industry her whole life, and she's kicked butt at that. And sometimes I wish she didn't work as hard as much as she does, but she's into that. So for me personally, it's just always focus on the family. I really do. It's family, faith, fun, and just kicking butt. But swim that pool in Sweet Bay. I mean, seriously, swimming the pool, picking up a little more golf.
Yeah.
Weirdly, it's hard as heck. It's always been. I've always had golf clubs, and picking up a little more just with some boys that are playing. And I'll keep fishing. We're not going to stop fishing. I love fishing. There's another shoot coming in September I'm going to do here. So we're going to go shoot some new products. They haven't told me what they are yet. Still working with Costa Del Mar. I was just
they like to surprise you.
Yeah, working with companies, and not because I want to work with companies, but you get into a groove and it's fun. And I got sent up to the what was the Marlin tournament? That one's crazy. So I'm doing so much. I got sent up to a Marlin tournament up in North Carolina. One of the oldest Marlin tournaments, one of the most famous, and I'm there. No reason to be there, no nothing. But they send me up there. They put the Airbnb right on the beach. I'm living. I'm having fun.
Heck yeah, man.
Sold sunglasses with Costa. We went out there and people were talking. We're telling stories about me doing this and that. And I sold a guy. I put it on my Instagram. I sold like a 52-year-old dude his first pair of nice sunglasses, and he was stoked.
No kidding.
I was stoked. I said, "Get a picture, man. This is special. Like this dude just paid $280 for a nice pair of sunglasses. He's been wearing whatever for the past,
Yeah.
So just airing anything. I hate to say. Not long ago, my buddy said, "Do you want to take a boat down in the Keys and the owner's going to fly us back in his jet?" I said, "Yeah." So who knows, right? We just did that. We fly back. We almost didn't make it. We had a little cabin pressure issue and fuel issue, but I was okay. I'll say this real quick to everybody. You're going to find out quick when you're in a small private jet. When I don't say that to be pretentious, say that it's a very small jet, and it's not going to go well over the Gulf, and the military ain't letting you come in because of some things going on. You're going to know where you're at in life when that happens. And I was good.
Yeah.
I started a little video. Hey, everybody, I'm cool as heck. This isn't going good. Just in case you find this phone, all's good. Be good. And the dude with me, a lot of fishing stories from him too. I got so many. He wasn't doing as well. And not that he should. That's me, right? Not that he should be doing well in that situation, but I knew right then. I've lived good.
Definitely a moment to think. Yeah,
I've done good. I've been good. No cabin pressure, no fuel, and we went off the Gulf to miss a storm, and the storm found us, kind of thing. So
glad it worked out.
No, it worked out good. We landed, I think, with no fuel, and we had no ceiling. I'm not a big plane guy. We had no ceiling, and we came through the cloud with 2 feet to land, and we didn't know until the last literally microsecond we were going to live.
Wow, that's crazy.
It was rad. I loved it. I absolutely was stoked about it.
You loved it.
Well, when you grow up in a grocery store, my saying's always, if I ever die at the grocery store, please drag me somewhere cool. Just drag me somewhere cool.
I don't want to die some lame way, like,
No.
Yeah, I die by misadventure, man.
Bro, coming back from driving a boat across the Gulf that we didn't die on and in the plane, But anyway, all good, man.
Yeah, awesome. Well,
and I got a million more stories, so if you ever...
I'm sure you do, man. We could sit here and talk for hours and hours, and maybe we'll do that on the front porch sometime,
cool.
man.
That'd be awesome.
But, man, I definitely enjoyed hearing more about your tales and the stuff that, man, it's interesting as hell to listen to what you've done and what you got in front of you too, man.
No, I'm still kicking butt at work. I want to. I got a lot of guys counting on me to make this happen, what we're doing at work, and which is cool too. And then I got a lot of people that will call and want to see what's next. We can go shoot some cool videos or TV or pictures, and
heck yeah,
I'm into it.
Awesome. Well, I look forward to hearing about it, man.
Yeah, brother.
Very cool. Well, that's another one in the live well for Between Two Rods. And if you enjoyed the episode, please smash that like button and follow button like it owes you gas money. Whether you're going to find a trophy in life or whether you end up in a nasty bird's nest, the thing is the adventure matters, and it's going to make a hell of a story. So thank you for joining us.